PS5 Day 2 after the drop. All right, so today we wanted to give a look at our second day impressions and some of the sort of nuances that we've kind of come across in other systems with the PlayStation 5 now that we've had some time with it. I want to spend the first little bit talking about the PlayStation app. Chase, what has been your experience with this newly revamped app and the PlayStation 5 integration?
It's so much better in every conceivable way than the previous one. I still kind of get lost a little bit, like in pulling down from the top and navigating that way. But other than that, the way it's integrated with the console, the voice chat, the notifications, I thought that was cool. Had no idea. I was just like away from my PS5 while I was downloading games yesterday, and it was like God of War finished downloading, and I was like, oh.
I think that's actually one of the neatest features. Obviously you can turn off push notifications, but I earlier went today to GameStop because I had this 20% off deal because one of them closed down by me, and so I went and picked up a $100 gift card or PlayStation card and got it for like $75 after a few things. And
nice.
Redeemed it on the app in the parking lot. Clicked on the Miles Morales Deluxe Edition, clicked install, and by the time I had gotten home, I got a notification. I was walking in the door and it said ready to play.
That's so sick. Yeah, no, it's really nice. And then like oftentimes like you'll be playing on PS5 and I'll be at my computer working or vice versa, doing whatever, and like being able to hop in the app and have the same chat experience. And it's like, hold on, I'm gonna go get on the game. I go out there, boom, we're there. You know, it's very unified, and also you can manage your storage too, which is really nice. So you can remove apps and delete them from the app. So if you're like, oh, I don't have enough space, you don't have to stop yourself from purchasing a new game.
Another thing that I noticed too was that you can see what people are playing on. It has like a console icon, whether it's on PlayStation 4 or 5, both in the app as well as on the system, which I think is kind of neat, knowing who is on what system, right? Like, oh, I can see them, but they're on the PS4.
Who you can hang out with or whatever, you know?
Well, now that the parties are kind of cross-compatible too and everything, I do think it's a huge improvement. And I think the store integration and everything, on the PlayStation app on mobile as well as in the system all works very well. I'm super pleased, especially with how weird it felt for last gen, where like I could be on the website and I redeemed a game or got something and I clicked download, but it was in sleep, but it didn't actually download it, and like there was always these weird disconnects, and I'd use a different app to do a different thing, like messages or the store. I had to open up something else, and it was like, ugh.
Yeah, it's definitely they brought everything forward. I didn't even think about the PlayStation app, and then they like brought it and updated it, and I was like, oh. And it's just great. I like it.
Yeah. Taking off of that, I want to speak real quick on the PlayStation 4 games on PlayStation 5. I noticed that in the library, that if a game is from a legacy generation, essentially PS4, PS3 via PS Now or anything else, it has like a little stamp mark on it. The weird way I came about this, though, is in downloading Miles Morales, for whatever reason, it downloaded the PlayStation 4 version, and I only knew it because I saw that stamp, but it got the correct remastered Spider-Man, which was a little bit weird. However, the most interesting thing after all of this was figuring out that the PlayStation 4 version of Miles Morales, which I'd originally downloaded, was about 52 gigs, and after realizing it was the wrong one, I deleted it and then installed the PlayStation 5 one, and it came out at 39 gigs, so a whole 13 gigs less for
with ray tracing.
Next gen. Yeah. Probably the same high textures or maybe even more to include with that kind of stuff, but there's already an example of reduced file size, like saved 13 gigs off of having the PlayStation 5 version.
No, it's weird that it still downloaded the PS4 one, like that it defaulted to that, but
yeah, and clearly it's not as good as Xbox's smart delivery system.
Yeah.
Right. Like they've been in the works for that for a long time. And again, backwards compatibility and all that other stuff that they've kind of really been at the core for a while for them. But it's nice that it's noted what version you have, because if it's a PlayStation 5, there's no stamp, no marking, no anything. It just says installed. So
yeah.
Hopefully as time goes on, they'll address that and make it so that it's like you can install PlayStation 4 versions of games on your PlayStation 5 if there's a upgrade or a different version altogether.
Right. One other thing really quick thinking about apps and like the stamps and all that. Like, no folders at launch.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like I've just got to nitpick a little bit just because like that took so long to be reintegrated on PS4 after it was removed after PS3.
Yes.
Like, and it's like they're doing it again, and there's like what 8 apps I think at any given time on the screen, or 8 games.
Yep. Yeah, and then it's all in your library. Like I definitely the folders. Big mistake, man.
Yeah,
I just. We had it before. I would have loved to arrange some game club stuff that we can play together.
Yeah.
Or, organize
like
in some
I did
way.
On the
like
PS4.
Right. Oh, hey, these are all backwards compatible games. These are improved
for
games.
PS4. Yeah,
I think
like
I had
all right there.
I had a folder for PS4 Pro games. Like, these are enhanced games. You should check them out,
Yeah.
And that also kind of ties in with the omission of themes. There's no system themes. And the fact that for the audio that plays per game, when you select it in the menu, which I think is kind of neat feature, I'd love to turn it off. So far that I found, I can't.
Yeah.
The only thing that
It's
you can
either-
turn off is all or nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was weird too. Like, it's just an odd thing. Like, it's PS3. PS3 did that for all the games. Every game had its own little music it would play in the menu, and it's like kind of coming back. It's a bunch of weird things.
Yeah.
Not experience ruining. I don't regret my purchase, but it's just like,
Yeah, and I think it's this weird like smorgasbord or amalgamation of all the other. They're trying to like bring back some of this nostalgia, or this like cool features where it's like, hey, that was a neat thing. How come we never continued that? Well, let's bring it here. I love the idea, and for the
why not
people that
folders
can
then?
use it,
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
right? Well, and or like, why not give it the option, right? And the same thing for this home screen audio. Like, I don't like that it's all audio off or on. Just let me turn off the per game audio so that I can just let the ambient noise play as I cycle through things and not be jarringly like through different music and stuff.
Yeah, and to the credit of the design of everything, not having themes isn't a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Because like I really like the art, even from the PS4 games that they pull up that aren't even enhanced or whatever. They're just kind of getting the data from the game and making it full screen, 4K, whatever. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it gives that wallpaper look like it's a computer or something like that. I agree. And I think that themes aren't really needed necessarily at this time, but I would like that option
like
of the audio, which is kind of the weird outlier where it's like, if you're not going to give me themes, at least give me an option for, changing what audio I'm hearing so it's not jarring, or give me an option of folders so I can organize some stuff, especially with backwards compatibility. And the list, I think it said I had like 300 some digital games owned. Like, what am I supposed to do with all that?
Yeah, I was even last night playing with Kate a little bit, or it was this morning, I don't know. Time doesn't make sense anymore. But she wanted to play Sackboy, and she's like, well, where is it? I was like, oh, it's in like my library. She's like, oh, okay. And so she goes and has to go through it, because it was alphabetical, so that she had to go and change it to whatever, and it was just kind of like a
yeah, for how quickly the games load up, it doesn't seem like there was a lot of quick access.
Yeah, so just, again, we're nitpicking. It sounds like we're just bashing everything, but it's like, we got to look at it from all angles, right? Like, I don't really like this. Transitioning probably to the create button. I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know what else to say. I don't like it. Like, you made this big deal, like, we'll reveal what it does. It's the share button with the crappier interface.
Yeah.
It takes up like the lower, like, fifth, third, I don't know how big it is, black bar. And it's like, take a screenshot. And it's like, what's down there? What am I screenshotting? What if I'm missing something down there? Like, it's just like a weird, what?
Yeah.
Like, am I missing something? It's just weird. It's stupid. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit clunkier too, because some of the screenshots that I've tried to take, I'll hit the create button to want to take a screenshot, but the screen is already moved, and when I go to save it, it's whatever it currently is that I'm looking at, that my screen is looking at. So I keep missing moments. Like if the game doesn't have a pause or anything, which is kind of weird.
Well, you can hold it and it'll grab a screenshot, but it's still like you're holding it,
right? And
so
and again, that's like, that's not my natural reaction. right?
Right.
My muscle memory is to hit the button, and then it brings up the thing and says, hey, do you want to make a screenshot of video? We already took the thing.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. Like, I wasn't expecting miracles from this button, right? But I wasn't expecting it to be like not as good. Like, why is that interface from the bottom taking up so much space? You've got these cool cards everywhere. Why didn't you just have like a card come up like on the PS4 where it came in from the side? I don't know why that felt less obtrusive. Was it transparent? I don't know. But it was just it's weird. Just a bunch of weird little things that changed that I was like not as keen to be all like,
yeah, and for how much they kind of like avoided talking about it, like,
they were so secret about it.
We want to tell you more about the create button, but we don't have time today, you know, and all this other stuff where they kind of avoided talking about it, and then now it's out and they still haven't really talked about it, and it's kind of even only okay. Like, yeah. It's nothing special.
Yeah.
The last point that I wanted to get on was no quick resume. A lot of people have seemed to be bashing the PlayStation as far as, oh, Xbox has quick resume, PlayStation doesn't, therefore it's an inferior product, or whatever they're trying to say, you know.
Console wars. Yay.
At the end of the day, we were doing some testing earlier where just loading up games, you know, no quick resume, but let's bounce into it. And it was like Demon Souls was like maybe 20 seconds to the title screen, and then you hit the button to continue, and then it's another 5 to 8 seconds in. Sackboy, I think, was another one where it was 15 seconds-ish to the main menu screen and another 5 seconds in. And then I even tried backwards compatibility with God of War, and that was 25 seconds until you could press something at the select screen, and then another 17 to 18 seconds by the time the game was loaded. Now that's something that's not even optimized, and we're talking 45 seconds to a minute from cold launching it to actually displaying and playing the game. And some of the footage that I saw, even with like Dirt 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, it was still like 30 seconds to load into a quick resume. I feel like all that quick resume is even doing is skipping the title screens, and or it's their way of loading in fast because they have a slower, objectively solid state drive solution.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And you did another test too. You were in Demon Souls and you went to the switcher and you opened up Astro's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Astro's Playroom. How long did that take?
I think it was like 8 or 10 seconds to the main menu, and then like 2 seconds after selecting something and all the way in.
So yeah, like think about that. It's like we've got Demon Souls, big old beautiful Demon Souls, awesome PS5 game running, and then you go to the switcher and it closes that game and opens that one in 12 seconds to playability.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Like
yeah,
it's not quick resume, it's just going to another thing quickly.
Well, and especially like you can tell on some of these PlayStation 5 games where it's optimized, and I'm going to figure it out with Miles Morales too. I mean, I know that people are already talking about how fast it is, but I think this really just, even with the backwards compatible games, loading times seem insignificant. I came off of a PlayStation 4 Pro with a solid state drive internally on it because
I had one lying HDD.
Yeah.
So,
but I think this really just, it all keeps calling back to the same thing that we've been saying. We're not spending a whole lot of time waiting in between playing games.
No. Well, and even Demon Souls multiplayer, we did that tonight, finally. And it just laid the sign down, you summoned me, and I was in a matter of seconds. That never happens in Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne.
Everything was very quick. Loading screens are basically non-existent. Like the Sackboy game, I got into the secondary world, and even loading that was like 5 to 8 seconds, and it's the whole animation that ends up taking up most of it is like, oh wow, that was a loading section. What?
Yeah, it just seems like a fun little animation.
Yeah, like, in the way that they've done it, it's so fast that it's like we're just there's no time being spent wasted not playing or being like, oh, gotta wait for respawn.
Every time I'm used to playing video games now, or on PS4, it was like start the game, swipe, dinking around on the internet, and now I'll do it, and I'm like, oh god, okay,
we're loaded.
I guess we're playing. You know what I mean?
We're loaded.
Yeah, I'm so used to just sitting there doing nothing for so long. The amount of time I've wasted playing games or whatever, like just trying to play a game, but all the loading times, it's just it's sick. Again, we're not bashing the console. If you listen to the points we're making, it's just these weird little isms, these weird little things that they just did or didn't do.
Yeah. And if you ended up getting a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X or S, let us know in the comments what your impressions are, what you feel, how has been your experience. Let us know because we want to have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, Game Club out.